Good afternoon, barely afternoon here. Lovey and Mercy and I are going to go check out the gardens. I'm up. These are some of the things that I don't know if I've shown you these things. I think I have. I'm going to return this rose. It doesn't smell enough. I'm just going to wait. If I'm alive next year, I'll get another David Austin to add to the collection or not. But I have Golden Celebration here that hasn't come up. This is more of a bronze star, but it just doesn't have enough scent. This one, I will keep this one. This one is a Gabriel oak. It's sort of a purplish red, a magenta. It's a magenta. That's the color that it will be, but it will be very scented. And the same with Golden Celebration. And then here's some new buds coming out of Solus Marner. I don't have this planted yet. I'm going to wait. Isn't it just beautiful? But it smells lovely. And I think I already showed you a Silver Show. That's going to need a little more, not direct sun as I had been told. I figured it didn't. This is a blue, it's a holly. It's called a holly, sea holly. It looks real prickly, but it's not. The leaves look like they would be prickly, but it's going to have these incredible blooms. They're like that. So it's a fun plant. I had one of these back in the Midwest. So I thought, well, for old time's sake, that would be, it's interesting looking, a little different, and to have that blue. Then just some berries. These will be flowers in here, perennial flowers. And I got some white dianthus. It's nice to have white in the garden. And I fell for it. I have a Ryuza, this tree here, but it's such a good little price. And it's already partly trained up a standard. I'll put it in back somewhere in part shade, like some protection. Then I can move it with me somewhere, wherever I have to go if I don't die here first. I'd like to just live and die here. I got a bee balm, sort of a purplish one. In their perennials, they have different colors than usual ones. They have some typical ones, but you can find ones that you don't find at Home Depot or Lowe's. And just like this geranium here, see, that's practically a neon pink. It's a little bit brighter and different, and the leaf coloration's a little different. So we'll go check out some things because stuff has been happening. For example, the orris root has its purple blooms on it now. This clematis is getting ready to bloom. I forget, I think it's purplish pink or something. One of my roses I got, I think is going to go in there rather than that one. We'll see. That one does not have scent. Here we can see the goat's beard, which I have other St. Joseph. I think I'll call it Abraham's beard, maybe. Father Abraham. See those little green frond things. That's going to turn into white beard. This Hucheria was back in the courtyard garden, and it was dying. I barely had any roots to it. It might make it. We'll see. This is good soil out here. Plants thrive out here. Need to stake that up, but that's the cedrus I brought out from the back. We see just a little bit. I didn't know if these were going to do very well. I overwintered them. They probably should have had a little more water in them, but it's going to come back. This is part of the canna. Lovey, don't eat that. Don't eat that, honey. Make your tummy ache. This has got some nice growth on it. I like that. That's nice and open. I got to keep it open. Can't let that get huge. Here's a dianthus that I've had that I think for maybe 3 years, 4 years, 3. Just getting ready. This geum it's a reddish orange one, is getting ready to do something. Oh, this will be pretty. This penstemon here. There's some blue and some more. That was the original back here, and it reset here. So I can move this one if I want to some other location and share the joy. Now see how this maple And it's getting new at the top. So we're having some wind today, but it's getting some new blush, pushing out new leaves and growth. It probably end up putting another 2 or 3 feet on it this summer, this spring and summer. Probably already has done a half a foot. Give it another couple of feet. I may need to put a couple of very thin, oh, here we go, doggies, Lovey, Mercy, no roughhousing on the concrete or on the leashes, please. Wait till you go inside. But I think I will get that staked probably. And this already looks like it's getting a little more golden Philip tears. This rose bush is very scented, and it's not a David Austin, but it's a bright red, and it is really thriving here. And look at all the growth that St. Mary's broom has got on it too. It's really gotten larger. Just all that new growth, that pale blue is the new growth on it. So it's exciting to see. I left a few little strawberries here. Today, after we take the dogs for a little walk around and I make sure that I can manage, I had I'm still sick today I'm very ill with pain, but I look at the sedums. These are a couple new different kinds I got. I got this one here, got the touch of gold, got this variegated. I think I showed you this red one. That's a beauty. That's the one that I asked Rob, is it worth it? Of course, he said yes. This I thought was unusual with the green with the red. This was different. And then these are from last year. And I'll have to find Joan of Arc. Huh? Oh, goodness. This is what I'm excited about. Lovey, no barking. That's a big joke, telling him not to bark. And then this is that one that I showed you at the nursery, but I ended up getting that unusual sedum. And this darker one down here, it's a sparkler. It's going to have some bright blooms on it. Lovey, let the little doggies walk in peace. Oh, see the blooms on this. Those will be the new cones, but they're considered blooms. The little red ends, the little big cones. This is the orris root that got its lavender blooms. It's already sort of on its tail end out. A couple of new blooms coming on, a few here. And it's very, very faintly scented. It's similar to an iris, but not exactly. Called orris root, has the striped leaves. I think it's medicinal, considered a type of an herbal. Look at all the cement that was in this dirt that we dug up. I'll just gradually put that in the trash. Okay, let's get back on the grass in case you start pulling at me. See this is really, isn't it fun to have a tree that just has different colors than your typical maple? Green. Just a little added touch of interest, and it changes. This sea thrift, all these are Mary plants, and I'm trying to remember what this is. A still bee comes to mind, but I don't know. Oh, maybe it's a daisy of some sort. Painted daisy. But it's not. Now, some daisies are invasive, and they'll, you just have to keep on them or they'll take over. But this one isn't. This will stay in a clump. That hadn't bloomed last year, so that's sort of fun to see this. And this is another, no, this is a stilby here. This isn't a stilby. The purple leafed, and it will have pink fronds on it. This, I did bring, I don't have enough hands to tie this up, but I did bring my twine out, not my twine, my jute, to stake up some, just getting some new growth, the bright green. And I think this will turn back to regular green in the summer, because it did last summer, and I thought, uh-oh, something's happened to it, because it's supposed to stay gold. I thought it's to stay gold, but evidently not in the summer. We'll find out. If it does what it did last summer, it turned emerald green, which is beautiful. Then it's nice to have the gold at the other times of year, isn't it? With the different tones, especially with the blue conifer. Even if there's just 3 out here, I have room to stick another little conifer if I want. I have a dark called Hebe hemlock. It's a little bit different than most hemlocks, so that could go there because it doesn't want full sun. It can have pure sun. Dianthus have bloomed out here. This fireball is looking thriving since I trimmed back some of the dead that died. It's going to be plenty big. That's going to be a bright yellow rose there, smaller and more of a shrub rose, or a low to ground. It'll stay more low to ground. Now there's a couple of those that really spiked out, new growth. Got excited. That little bit of lavender practically looks like a tuft of grass growing over there, but it's a type of lavender. So I like to have things when people are walking on the sidewalk, they'll get a whiff of scent. And there's room out here for me to do things. I'm going to put, it's a conifer down there, but it will spread. I'm going to cut out this corner, make the corner, and take those out, and I'm going to put that spreading low to ground blue juniper. I think, what is it called? Star something juniper. It's very pretty. It won't need a lot of moisture, which it won't get out there because of the sprinkler setup. There's a hemlock back there that I'm tempted to move, or I'll read up on what it needs, something in the soil, something for it. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry I didn't have the image on it. It's been ailing. It should be nice and full and healthy looking. It's living, but it's struggling. And these are the bachelor buttons. They have a merry name. They might be, I'll look those up. I'll have to do that for one of our videos, is the merry garden, the merry names that they had in the Middle Ages. It's fun to think how they wouldn't call them these names. Snapdragons, people say, oh, my infant shoes are looking so beautiful this year. They're growing well. Infant Jesus slippers. Oh, lion's mane is this. It's really, this year, some of these little 1-gallon trees I've had in the ground for this maybe even, this would be the third season. They're really getting nice growth now. It's exciting to see all the fresh little, I knew this would perk me up getting out here. I was one sick old lady yesterday. The pain after I stopped the video, oh my goodness gracious, I was in trouble. And thankfully my grandson was already scheduled to come to do some work, and he ended up doing it on his own, but he was able to take my pail out, my wastebasket outside, and open a window and bring me some water to rinse my mouth. It was just awful, horrific pain. I was crying out to God desperately, and thought I was going to faint in a half bath. I didn't have a chair out there, so I had to, fortunately, my counters are still messy enough. I had a bag on the counter. I got that because I figured this was going to be a violent one, and sure enough, so I needed a bag. Put my head down in the bag and had to just sit on a toilet to have some place to sit because I was going to faint. And then I had counter and wall. It's a small half bath. Thanks be to God, so that if I had fainted, I would have just slumped on the counter or against the wall. There's no room for a body, really. So, oh, I just don't see how I can go through more of those. Thankfully, I haven't had a bad one like that in a long time. But I know what it is now, and I'm so grateful to God for that. It is, look how First Ghost back there is doing well. The light leaf Japanese maple back there. Another, I think that one's a purple one back there too, of a, we'll see, or it might be a light colored one. Um, oh, my brain. On the trellis. Ruth's Red's doing well. This is my God's Weeping Beach Aurea, Golden Weeping Beach. And I'd shown you one at the nursery. It was small. This I got small, and it's probably doubled or more in size since I've had it. This was one of the earliest trees. Maybe this has been in for, this might be its sixth summer. And I can't remember right now what that little light one is back there, but it's that light shade, but I can't wait to get this painted, the darker, and all this stuff will really pop out. And this Weeping Phillips this is Weeping Phillips Tearful, not Weeping Phillips Golden Tears. But has a little touch of gold down there at the bottom, doesn't it? Look at that little bits. But nothing like the other one will be. I love that clematis, that's the name of it. Guernsey Cream. The Phantom Flame is doing well back there. And I wanted to show you this. This is my eldest daughter's prayer plant. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, God the Father and Holy Spirit, please be with my eldest daughter, Elizabeth Sarah, and help her to have a beautiful day and with family, and probably they're with friends. Maybe this was graduation weekend for the granddaughter, I don't know, back in the Midwest. But isn't that beautiful? I took some pictures of it. I'm going to send them to her email, not email her, well, maybe her email, probably to her text. Have to get her phone number out, put it on there. I took it off my phone, her phone number, so I wouldn't be tempted to bother her. And, just if the reminder of me must be upsetting. We have to love other people enough to respect their needs. And I wanted to mention, I didn't even remember who had said that they were bothered by my pigtails, but the person was just having one of those days where, I have those days where things can really get to me and irritate me, that you just say, oh, I don't want to see that. They just, bug me. But the person apologized. She doesn't mean anything, but I just was having a bad day. It wasn't in a good place that day. But I took my pigtails out because I think it's important that we do for other people. If they're kind enough and good enough to express to us that something about us is, that little icebreaker down there, I've got to get him moved out. He needs to be, he's doing okay, but he should be doing better. Don't know if you can see it. Right down there in the ground, that little thing, it's icebreaker. Gonna bring it out, maybe even right here, or over on the other side, or up in there. It needs a little bit more, not so much moisture as back there. But anyway, that's why I took my pigtails out. And I tried doing just one little ponytail, but my hair's not long enough. I can't stand when hair's getting in my eyes when I'm trying to work. And let's go over here, doggies. Come here, lovey. We're going to look at this tinge on a standard. It's called tinge on a standard. It's a tinge Picea, an Abies, and it's on a standard means it's been trained upward. Somebody spent several years just training it, staked it up when it was a little tiny thing, and kept clipping on it. to have it like that, so it'd be a little bowl up there. This is another Pinus parviflora, but it isn't the same as Hannah. Hannah is the one that's the eldest daughter's prayer shrub, prayer tree, or whatever you want to call it. This one is Aoi Joe. Aoi, I think it is. Check, but I know the other one's Hannah. And this one's called just plain Aoi, A-O-I, this Pinus parviflora. And as I said, I'm going to take a couple of those up there, I think off. I might let it grow another foot up there, but I'm not going to let it get wide. I don't mind, since this is so tall, I don't mind having height up against this side. This side won't have height on it because this side has this beautiful Ryuza, Japanese maple. In the winter, all those weeping and twisted branches underneath in there are seen. There's another bachelor's button back there in the corner. The bleeding heart, my neighbor said, oh, I've never seen a yellow bleeding heart, and I hadn't. That's why I got this. It does have reddish orange or pink early on in its blooms. You can see one back there that's more orangey with the yellow tips, but then it fades out to the yellow. Oh, I think we may have missed Mary's eyes. This little plant here is literally called Mary's eyes, Mary's blue eyes, because they might still open up, but I think they've done it. We'll find out. But they're all those little spikes, and then they have little blue blooms on the end, little round blue flowers for her eyes, which her eyes were maybe brown. I don't know. I think in paintings they oftentimes have them blue. And you can't even see the tomato cage anymore back. This clematis is so healthy and so huge that I knew I have to even bring these branches, these stems back and let them stay back there, or they'll just take all over these plants. So, well, let's see, I guess I did plant some things in here last week. I put that moonbeam hemlock back here. I'll just have to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't get too much water. And I planted the one clematis. It's got pink and white on it, pale pink and white. And I could put another one back in here, but I'll see how that does. I planted I have another one here, Coleus in here, tucked around. And I have a bag of begonia bulbs to put around in here. It's an orange and red and yellow. Begonias will brighten this up back here. Love you. Come on, honey, we're gonna go out. I'll see if this Hucheria makes it. This one isn't doing well. I'm going to take it out, I think. See that? And I had one that totally bit the dust. That one over there, I'll just clip out some of the dead. That one's in a good spot for it there. It likes it. But this area can get a little too much water. I have to adjust the sprinklers. This was the other clematis I have, but I could return that. It's pretty, and it can take part shade. That's what it'll look like when it's thriving. Little pinkish purple centers. If I think I need another back there, or I could get another trellis and put them side by side and have them mixed. But if that gets healthy back there, it should in a couple of years. Of course, and I think I've already mentioned I have to get these things pruned back. I might not do it this summer, but in the fall when the leaves come off, or in the winter, or next spring, like in March, after we've had the last big freezes, but before it buds out, is a good time to prune. So let's head around and back and see what, this is a sedum that's nice in there with bright yellow touch. Oh, here's another clematis, Hucheria, or Heucheria. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I can look it up. That hasn't been doing well there. I'll replant it in there or move it. Just get it to a different location. I can always put those little begonia bulbs in there. I thought I had lots of the heucheras back in there. I had probably a half dozen or 5 dotted around, and at least 2 have totally died. So let's see what we're doing. And everything could use a shot of fertilizer too. I have special fertilizer I had way back in the Midwest. It was cheaper for me, and I'm glad I did it, but I had to give away a lot of it on the island. I just ran out of room packing it in my truck to take it. And my son-in-law refused to take it. Goodness sakes, it was granular. It was not going to explode on him. It was not even hot. Oh my goodness. But so I gave lots to the couple who helped me and told them even to take it to church and let them have it. But it's, I forget the type of fertilizer it is, but it's very costly now. Back then I got it, I think I had 300-pound bags or 2, and mixed different types. This is not showing signs. Well, I see a little bit of signs of growth down there. You probably don't. This is the baby eyes. Consider it for Jesus. Big, huge rose mallow. Big blooms. About in August but it needs to come out more and do that. So see if it'll make it. I might move it. And if it's this, I need a stronger stake. But it's got, there's a nice new bloom. See if I can get up close on it. See if the phone will adjust. No, it's not. Anyway, very pretty. There's 2. I see 2 new. And maybe some others will materialize. These others are turning into cones. And these old cones are down in there. So, and I've got a couple spots here. I have to move, if I get those big trees cut down, I have to move Manyo Sonato, or Sato no Manyo, Lonely Man Japanese maple. He wants part shade, part sun, part shade. And I have that carnival, that miniature dwarf, that needs protection. This is starting to do well. That sparkler, that's a Chamacyparis there. I say that was like 6 inches big when I got that this is at 6 seasons or 5 years ago or so. Maybe it was 2019 I got that, or 2020. It was 2019, that would be 6 years ago. This is all in. Akasigisatsu Sawa. Akasigisatsu Sawa. And that will be nice and, spread. It has a good, more of an old artistic looking Japanese form to it. They just grow that way naturally. I'll work with it too. It's young enough. I can work with it and take out branches and get it into that spot. But in the fall, and it should grow a foot a year or more. We'll see. I'm gonna give it a zap of this is looking like it's gonna do okay here. Don't want it to get too wet. That'll be its only problem. I planted it up. I may need to plant it up even higher on a mound. I have it really up, probably about 8 inches from the flat part, and this is up higher than that. The Japanese maple doesn't mind the water. Now this lavender here is probably getting a little too much moisture. Compare that to the rosemary over here that's up higher. That thing just got huge, and it was a tiny little sprig. Was that a year ago, maybe? Or 2 years ago I got the rosemary. 2, I think. And Perry's Golden is not as sad looking as he was before. I still want to take my jute and I'm going to, I think, maybe pull some of these branches closer together so I don't have so much wood showing. And I still like the idea of putting something tall and narrow up the back. Maybe one of those beautiful coral penstemons would be pretty there. Coral orange right behind there. I have primed these, but I haven't painted this trim in its trim color yet, which is dove white. This is a nicely shaped tree too. I just like, oops, let me, sorry, not stumbled over my little puppy dog here. This is looking beautiful. Filigree, pink filigree. That is some, different times of the day come and see it and the way the light shines on it. Or, oh, here, this is just a little 3 to 4 foot clematis that I have a wood cross over there. The man before me had it. The doctor, who was the missionary doctor in Africa the last 25 years of his career, probably from ages maybe 50 to 75. He was over in Africa with his wife doing medical work there. I think it was in Kenya. And so I'm going to put the cross there that he has on the other side of the house. I'll paint it. And it's peeling. And I'm going to train this clematis on that. It needs to be brought up. It's okay to let it go on the ground, but it's better to have it up. A little healthier for it. Here's some of this grass that we had out front, and just filling in some low spots. There had been one of the maple trees here, planted here. See, this was actually further from the house. This is 12 feet from the house, but it was leaning. And then others you can see right there, just so close to the patio. And those roots were gonna just lift up the patio. And it was lean. They had 4 trees, big maple trees across here. Plus the leaves then, the branches were over the roof. They ruin a roof. They take the life of the roof faster. This tree here, it's developing into a beautiful, graceful. It's the graceful shape of them that's so lovely. Some of them are just naturally that way, and then others are more globular or weeping or whatever their style is. But this Kung Pill is really thriving here too. And I like the backdrop of it against the weeping Picea pungens. This is doubled in size since I've had it. Or I don't know if doubled, it's at least a third larger. It wasn't as tall as a steak when I got it, but I like how it has gone and got a lot of nice new growth on it. Probably 2 to 3 inches. The ones that are larger, they're not, those little tiny things are just the first start of it, and then they get larger, their growth. So I see some over there that are a good 3 inches long. It's lovely. Thank you, Lord. I'm so blessed to have. Here's a rose-colored penstemon, but the coral orange really was striking. I forget what this Japanese maple is back there. I wonder if that's an acanthifolium. I guess I'll have to look at what's left of my inheritance and see if I would like to get these old trees down. They're really make a lot more work for me, and that beautiful twisted sister back there will be a keepsake. It will really be a beautiful, beautiful tree. Trees like us have their limits. As to what. Here's my hyssop. Listen to me talk. I'm just so selfish. God's hyssop there. I put it out. It'll get purple blooms eventually, just because of its significance with Christ. It's right here close by Jesus' statue. Here's another one of these. I'm trying to remember what this is. I think it starts with a B. This is showing the most growth this year too. This is just a little stubby thing. This will be a round ball. It'll get larger, and yeah, the new growth on that is really coming on this year. Because this is doing beautifully. I'll have to move. Oh, I'm going to take it out and just wait and see what the scene is once this tree's out. But I have a lot of protection from that tree there. So I think the English Japanese maple there, Old English, will, that darkish color here, will do okay here still. That heucheria is doing okay there. Heucheria. Weeping Wonder is, if I'd mentioned before, that's like tripled in size. I want to keep it somewhat contained. I'll stake this up behind it, and or have something staked up behind it, tall and narrow. Hope this needs more sun, and it will get it. I have to just keep this. This was the little rose that I had out in front, but it didn't make it, a little carpet rose down there. So I'm going to move that to a more open location because it's doing fine here. But I'm going to keep this trimmed back so it doesn't overwhelm Goldilocks, and I don't want it to take from Goldilocks. I saw some blooms back here. Roses are blooming back there already, down low to the ground, getting the sun back there. Oh yes, Lovey sees an old man back there. His name's Old Mike, and his dog. This sedum is growing nicely. Stake this up too. I need to get a taller stake and get that gold horizon up. It's not showing too much gold right now, is it? Acclimating. Isn't that that's another one of those sedums that's in front. There's a gold horizon. Got some other. Yeah, they're out there. Oh, that's my neighbor lady with her lily playing out there. See, I can't let you guys run loose. HOA men don't allow it for me, do they? No, they don't allow it for me. I'd be in big trouble, get yelled at and abused. But also, you two don't come back when I tell you to come back. Not till you're good and ready. So here's another gem. This is an orange one, and another lavender there. Back over here, this dandelion is really having a lot of growth, more than usual. It will like it when this tree's gone. All of these trees. This one back here might not, that Japanese maple. And those I'll have to see. I might have to bring some up, put some umbrellas or stake up and put some landscape cloth back here to protect afternoon sun. Some of these, but I'm going to have to take these out. This is Sonia Nomato. Right here, I trimmed him since you've seen him last. Lonely man. Thought this was good for a hermit. Although I'm not lonely at all. But it's got a nice variation, purple and green, and there's new growth right there, a little reddish. But these have to get out of the way because they'll cut the tree and it'll just flop out in the common area. There's a little flaky over there that eventually will be 60 feet tall, probably in 100 years. No, 50 years at least. But these little firs over here need more protection, so I'll just have to see how they manage. I think I want to just have this. This is a gorgeous Japanese maple, and it will grow a foot to a foot and a half a year. Ijima Sunago. But I may have to get something here, larger, in order to replace this tree. or um, or do some protection for some of these others. And I will move San Amato, I think, to the side of the house and prune it. I won't let it get so raw. I'll prune it and train it to be more of a vertical grower. I think. See, oh, here, this is getting nice new growth. Now, this is one of these little miniatures. There's another anemone down there that will be pink. But this is really getting large. I think this is green carpet. Abies coriensis green carpet, and it can just grow and spread around here underneath this tree. I'll let that do that. And I can put, here's another lupine that just came up from seed down here. Just like this is doing, this Japanese maple, not Japanese maple, they look similar. I'll have to see. I don't think they're the same, but they're very similar. But I like touches of gold around. This one has pink flushes to it, pink new leaves. Geisha gone wild. Look at that in the sunlight. Isn't that just shimmering practically? It's gone wild. Oh, and this is getting more gold on it now, more light from the sun. I probably will prune back some of these branches on this, but look how already the undersides of these leaves are turning. They're not all dark yet, but they will be solid dark underneath and the light speckled on top. Give them another couple or three, and by midsummer, they'll be a dark purple under here. And then as the wind blows and they move, you see the light tops, speckled tops, and then the dark underside. Here's one that's in process, but it'll be solid dark. Absolutely solid. There's one right there. You see how it flips up a little bit, and you have this constant show of God's glory, like Jesus's purple cloak. And the trees are putting down all the cruelty he was given. They put that cloak on him as a mockery. But God created nature to overcome any mockery and show the glory of his son. And this I want to trim out and open up. This is moonrise. This is a Shirasawanum, a large flat leaf, not similar to a palmatum, but you see the leaves. It's an acer, Japanese maple, but different. I'm glad I got this. There's not much red over in here that's why I like that idea of the lawn down there. There might be a different kind of a tree, not another acer, if I need something larger to put in the place of this guy here. And I won't miss the squirrels, and I keep finding their peanuts. Not the end of the world, but they do carry diseases. But bless their hearts, they need places to live, but they can go, there's other trees around. They can go out and be in that tree. There's other pine trees. There's a big one over there. They can go live over there or live over in my neighbor's tree. And this, I don't know, this little thuja, jantar. It's not an arborvitae, but it looks practically like it has deadish stuff in there. It's just the variations, but it's not the most beautiful specimen back in there. But it's different, and it's like me. Not the best specimen. And I already trimmed on Huck's dwarf, Japanese maple. Huck's dwarf. It's not dwarf, but I still have to get these tied down to my rebar posts I put down on the ground. Get that arbor, and then I put the actually I could put that other clematis out here. This one will grow all over though. It has white, very frail little blooms on it. They're more fringy looking. They're not solid blooms. So I'll let that grow there and see how it does. See how it does. If it doesn't get all the way over over, I can plant the other one on the other side and let it grow up over from the other side. That white one out in front. I don't, I might just take it back. So here's the roses in the ground. And the tomato plants are going on well. This starfish is looking very good this year. We had quite a rain. We had rain yesterday. That's the Kentucky sweet mint in that little bumblebee pot. Strawberries are getting lots of blooms. It's an empty spot there. I'll stick one in. I have a pile over there I'm going to plant in. I have lots of planters in the garage from my leftover help. Try to sell strawberries. This is going to be another phlox. It should be very scented here. And it'll get taller. So this just came up from, I've cut this out. It's overwhelming the conifer down in here. But it just came up from a start. It started from what plant? Don't even see it in here. It might be from way before. This looks like a monarda. Or, no, not a, they're yellow. They're yellow and they're invasive. And I planted them here the very first summer and realized then that they just will take over your garden. So I got rid of them, but this might be one left over. So out it will go. That little ginkgo over there is troll ginkgo. There's another that I will remove back there. It started up. It's another one of these lupines, and I'll just put it someplace else. And a big geum. It's a red geum. Here's a kawaii Japanese maple. That will be beautiful. I'm leaving space around that one. That one will grow up, and it will weep. It will. We're going to train it to just weep and cascade down in this area here. Coming along. Snow is dying back, and then I think that might get one more set of blooms later on. The white, maybe. A little chunk of lavender there, so we have more. Let's go see if I have any of my seeds coming up. One package was old, the other two were new. Oh, see how the squirrels get in here though, and they dig it around. So if I don't have any, it's because the squirrels have been digging. I keep having to come and, yep, they disturb the soil. They bury their peanuts. Somebody's feeding them in the neighborhood. But yeah, there's a peanut shell here. And so, in fact, but these were old seeds, so I'm not expecting a lot from them. Lovey, there. But I should have marigolds and zinnias coming up by now. I should be seeing little bits of growth. I don't see a thing. This one has been dug in also. That one had been. I fixed that the other day. It's another something this squirrel was burying. So, I may just have to get a little 6-pack of marigolds and zinnias to have that. I like them. And then keep the seeds for next year to try again. Once these big trees are gone, it should help the squirrels move on and stop disturbing the pots. We can go along to the other side, and let's go this way, doggies, and check the planters out there. I have a Scotch pine moseri that won't get too large, but it can get 3 to 4 feet. It'll be bright gold, except in the summer. But I got to get it out in the sun, so I'm going to put it out somewhere around where Church Street steeple is. I didn't realize my neighbor was home. I'd been getting her mail, and I need to get her mail to her. She'd been gone again last week. They have a beautiful place on a lake or something elsewhere, hour and a half away or something. Yes, these squirrels, no, Lovey, squirrels been in here. So, and these were newer lettuce seeds, so nothing's coming up in here. Well, there's one right there. Right there, we got one. If it's lettuce, I hope. But, and this, oh, a couple of little seeds. They haven't been in here. This was a spinach that was from last year that just stayed. And it's doing well, but I have a couple of seeds coming up there, and looks like some there. But the spinach is buried, and you plant it deeper. Beets here, Lovey. We don't need to add you to the issue. He's just getting little sticks out of here. The little, but yeah, I've got some beets here. I like to grow those mainly for the greens. I need to start eating more greens. This I did not plant anything in. So I'm going to put nasturtiums in some pot, but I think on the back pot. Well, might be too much hot sun back there. But, and I also have some more lettuce seed. I got new lettuce seed, thinking that my older seeds, year-old seeds, might not make it. They usually do. You just have a smaller percentage. And I really drastically pruned back my blueberries that were looking so dead. So won't have much fruit on these, obviously. This one was a new purchase last year, so it will have berries. But these will have maybe a handful. We'll maybe have 5 berries on that one. That's the way it goes. And I'll have to decide if they don't start doing better. They may just, some of these are from the Midwest, some of these are old. Oh, no, I had to get new ones when I got here, but they're just not doing well. So, and let's check over here. These, my big ladders. I think my neighbor will be happy when I got to have those, and well, the HOA men will be, when they're not looking at my ladders. When I'm done house painting, I can get rid of the 28-footer. Which I need help now. I've gotten so gimped up my mid back, I can't get that lifted up by myself. Yeah, the tomato plants are coming along well. Each of these are for my kids. One's called Better Boy. I want my son to be a better boy. Champion for the Pickleball Pro. And Bella Rosa for my eldest, who is just such a sweet, beautiful woman and doesn't like her mother. So, who can blame her? This was nice and healthy, but it broke. This is going to be another one of those Guernsey cream, but we'll see how well it does this, how far it gets growing this summer since it broke off. This is a beautiful looking rose for the most part. Just smell it. It might get to stay there. I have these 2 phloxes here, which will give nice scent. And I think I might have gotten a 3rd phlox. I'll see where I put it. I could put another here for 3 for the Trinity. I would have plenty of scent. This is acclimating here and liking it. This Newton's Red Sentinel. So, good times in the garden. This is doing well. Look, it's getting leafing out here on this branch that was stuck out. So, all's good. All's good. My grandson worked on the garage. I've got a lot of construction stuff back here to work on. A lot of bags of insulation still. So, life is good. Once I got through the major attack yesterday. Isn't that a beautiful lupine? I saw an orange one somewhere. It was at the greenhouse, but the pink and the purple, I'll stick with that until I get a grip on things. See what happens. Forget-me-nots are so beautiful, aren't they? And this down here is a blue, and it's a very rich, it's a cobalt blue down here in this, but it didn't bloom this year. I'm glad it even came back. I forget what it's called, but I thought it was goner. Here's another little forget-me-not there. And these are all doing well. These I have extra ones that I can put in little pots and try to sell. These echinaceas. Stick them out there, buck a piece or something. A lot less than they get at the. You have to pay $8.99 for a little one at Home Depot. Of course, they might want colored ones. I only have a couple colored ones out there, maybe 3. But I wanted the white. I just wanted the white, solid white. But it has. I ended up having 3 that got in there. Those were all just little starts. I had them up here. I had just a couple echinaceas, 3. An orange, hot pink, and a white. And the white ended up being the strongest strain of the echinaceas. So those were just a couple of years ago, just little tiny 4-inch little starts that came up over here. Free started came up. They stopped coming up over here. Oh, maybe there's one down over here that still came up. Let's see what that is. That's something there that just came up this year, so that might be one. I see some more bleeding hearts coming up over there in the ground. I tend to pull them up. Here's a little mongrel Japanese maple that came up in the ground. So I'll see what happens with that, or I might put it, and here's another one, put in a little tiny container. It's probably coming from this ryuzen, but it has a different shape of leaf. It's a mongrel. That's how you can start a new cultivar if you want. And here's a couple right here. This one here. Let's see, there's one back there. That one's definitely from this tree, and so is this one. There, start yourself a Japanese maple. I'll check around. Oh, this is pretty. See, wouldn't it be nice if my kawaii would do that? There's another kawaii out here. When I saw these 2 kawaiis in the 1-gallon containers 2 years ago, that was a get to have 2 of those. They're just so lovely when they get larger. Very beautiful. And if you get to know your Japanese maples and you find it, like Buchholz was going out of business and they had all these varieties of 1-gallon sizes, that's the time to get them and just bide your time with them growing. I thought that Japanese princess out there, that this little one out here, I thought it would take a while for it to get. It's gotten quite large all of a sudden. It's doubled in size. So you just can never tell. I can't remember what is this one here? Nice green branches against the, this one is dragonfire. This Japanese maple here. Definitely a dissectum. Here's a branch going straight up, but I already have it underneath here, but I'm going to stake it up even more. I have a piece of a wire underneath here to have it grow up higher, but I can move this back more, and I want to get this up higher. I want to train it upward more and then cascade down. Okay. Oh, I love how the understudy of green, chartreuse under that bright orange red. Not pretty. Okay, end of the garden walk, and I do apologize. I know I am so self-absorbed or self-centered or whatever. Somebody had left a message, and it wasn't anyone I know, and it was right. He says, the world doesn't revolve around you. And that's so true, but when you get sick and in pain, you just forget everything but calling out for God for help. For me to verbalize the pain and the suffering helps me. If I, just like I told you, the gross details of the ordeal. You live here alone with, of course, God's always here, and my angels here, and these doggies. But just when you come that close to feeling like you're not going to make it, and you've been through it before, and you know, and you're praying it's not going to get that terrible, and then of course it does. And the violence of the vomiting, and you don't know, it can get so bad that what's in your intestines can even come up. But it hasn't for me yet, but I was told that by the GI specialist that it can come right up from the intestines into the stomach and up the esophagus, because it gets, the body is in total revolt to but at least I know now it's the pain. It's not constipation, it's not medicine, it's the pain is radiating from my lumbar into the intestines. God bless you all, and thanks for suffering with me. And I'm praying for all of you. I know so many of you suffer terribly, and maybe you have no one to pray for you or care. Write to me of your sufferings if it helps. It helps me to sort of talk it out, and then I'm over it. It's cathartic. Each person has different ways of coping. So have a beautiful, glorious Sunday.